Hello, beautiful people. Thank you so much for tuning in yet again for another episode of Youth in Being. Welcome back. I'm so glad that the last episode, the reception was so nice. Thank you so much for those who supported me, everybody. I'm pretty sure everyone listening in or who is yet to listen did support me, and I'm so grateful for that. For those who subscribed and followed, thanks. Big up to you guys. So if you haven't subscribed or followed me on social media platforms, please do. YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Spotify, Youth in Being Podcast is the name. Please do that. And as always, I am your host, Pendo Suzanne. So today, being the second episode, I have a guest. I would say today we'd act more like co-hosts, yeah. So I'll let him introduce himself, tell us one or two things about him, and we'll continue from there.
Thank you so much, my host. I am Innocent Master. I am glad to be joining the second episode of this podcast, Youth in Being.
So how do you feel being the first guest for Youth in Being podcast?
It is a privilege, and I am humbled. I thank God so much for it, and I wish other guests would feel the way I do
So you
at the
feel
moment.
you feel nice.
I feel nice.
Oh,
I
nice.
feel privileged. Who would not?
Thank you so much for coming in to do this. So as I said before, we're doing this together, and trust me, I know nothing about this. So we're going to learn on the way as we go on. So today we're going to talk about an interesting topic. So Innocent,
Yes.
would you think about this if you were given a chance to have like the last 2 or 3 years back?
Mhm.
Are there things you would change?
2 or 3 years back, the
Yeah.
previous years, by all means, who would not?
Okay.
You see, change is something gradual. And for you to embrace change, it means you have to realize you need to change. And if you ask me if I would embrace change, I would. By all means, I would. Would you not?
I would actually. I mean, change can be scary, but it's good. Plus, there's some things you do probably in the next 5 or 6 years you get to regret them or tend to think you'd do them differently. Yeah, so that is what we're going to talk about today. If you were to click the reset button, okay, if you could click the reset button, what would you do? What would you think to change, or what should you do differently from what you did previously? So tell us something about it. Do you have anything you would change?
Yeah, there is something I would change. You see, back in those 3 years, there were things that we were doing, me and you might have been doing, and it might have seemed so good. The choices we made in 2 or 3 years previously might have been so good at the time. But then when it comes to the current time, to the present time, you feel like the things I might have changed, and you feel like life is teaching you a different thing, and it is doing it in a hard way. And I'd say the things I will change according to the aspects of life. Most of them that the youths are facing, we can change a lot. Actually, the youths are facing a lot, and we're living in a vast and a very a varied life that has a lot of aspects that we can see, we can change, and that is only if we realize the change.
So you have to realize it first.
I need to realize change.
Change can't come without realization. Yeah. All right.
And that is growth.
Yeah.
It is growth. And if you ask me what would I change, as a youth, what is the first thing a youth can think about? Is there anything a youth can think about to change? Most of us tend to think a lot, most especially those in campus. We have a lot in mind. We have a lot, and life has taught us a lot. You see, for example, when you come to campus life, now school life, let me now speak about campus. You see, before 2 years ago, 3 years ago, some of us might have not been in campus, and we had a certain idea, a certain notion about campus that we expected to find in campus. And then you come to campus, and then you find something different. It means you have realized change. For you to embrace the change, you have realized that there is something different from what I expected. And then we start from there, and then you think about it. I, as Youthinbeingpodcast, as your host today, what have I thought about? What have I seen in campus life that I had expected, but then it is different? Then that is where we change it.
Okay, so I'll give my personal view on that first. Campus life. I'm in my third year right now, yeah. And growing up, I have 2 siblings, my big sister and my big brother. So yes, I'm a last one for those who didn't know. You know it now.
Yes, we see that.
Okay, so here's the thing. My sister and my brother went to campus ahead of me. So they'd tell me stories about, it's fun, you have your freedom. Obviously, they can't get into details about the freedom, what the freedom holds.
Yeah.
Because they think you're young, which I was.
Yes.
But by that time, in my mind, I was like, oh, so there's a lot of freedom and you can do anything you want. Think about you being in high school and you're used to a life which is refrained. There's restraint at school or at home. You see, it's the same thing. Yeah. You don't have that freedom. But then you listen to somebody tell you there's a place you can actually be free, do whatever you want. So that was it for me. So that is one thought that I came into campus with. All right. So I got into campus. I wouldn't say I'd change this, but this is just something that took me aback because okay, here's the thing. Yes, there's freedom, but it actually depends what kind of freedom. My mom, I love that woman. Mommy, I love you so much. I know you'll be listening. So my mom is a strict person. She is very strict, not strict to the point where we didn't have freedom or we couldn't do anything. She was just strict in a way you'd grow up disciplined, all right? And that thing binds you. Once there's discipline instilled in you and it's genuine discipline, not fear, discipline. It's hard. It's hard for you to even, trade away from what you were taught. Because I have met people. I'm pretty sure you have too, yeah? Yeah, you have met people.
Who might have not been disciplined,
Yeah.
who might have not grown in the surrounding of discipline. But then you've met them, and then you feel the difference between you and them because of the discipline you embraced.
Yeah, but there's also people who grew up in fear, in strict homes, it's out of fear, more like fear than discipline. Those people find the freedom they have in campus and boom, they lose it totally. They're like, yes, this is what I have been waiting for. But as for me, the freedom I have encountered is the thought that now this is my life. I have to make sure that I do something that I won't regret, and you try as much as possible. So I guess that is a good thing. I wouldn't change that actually. I wouldn't change that.
That is because I think you define freedom differently, and I love it.
Okay.
Because of the discipline you've spoken about, it makes you channel your freedom into something useful.
Yeah.
And you see that one is change that I'd hope each and every youth listening to this can actually embrace. Because each and everyone can get the chance to actually press the reset button. And if you find that, you can channel freedom. You've spoken about freedom. Yeah, you can proceed. Speak about something.
No, I want to listen to your definition of freedom.
The way I define freedom.
Yeah.
You see, by all means, because you've said, like for example, in high school, our freedom was sold to us at a cost.
Yeah.
Yeah, our freedom was like it was actually limited. For you to find freedom, it's when we were transiting and we were getting used to the process. You'd hear teachers saying, embrace the process, trust the process, go through it, find it and embrace it. You see that freedom was being sold to us and it was being channeled to us in a certain different way. And then you come to campus and then now you find freedom. And then you find, for example, in high school, we're limited to go out. You see that? So you find that in campus, when you actually come to campus, you find that the nights are actually very free.
Oh, true.
Yeah, that one is also freedom.
Yeah.
Freedom to move, freedom of locomotion, freedom to do a lot of things. For example, in high school, to those people who studied in school that had a similar gender. I'm now
the male version.
Let me speak about now the male version. I find that males, we lived in a certain enclosed area that when we had these things like funkies, we had music festivals, contests, and all stuff where we'd actually invite other people, other genders, ladies to come into our school, and you want to be involved with these people.
Okay, let's make it plain. The boys actually it's to according to what you're saying. Okay, not according to what you're saying, but like you're talking about funkies, right? The truth of the matter is, it's not only in boys' school. Even girls' school used to do that. When you have like innings for sports, say sports or drama or things of the sort, even the ladies would want to like interact with the male. It's also same as for the male. They'd want to interact with the ladies. It was something natural.
Something I'd call it natural.
Yeah, it is something natural.
You embrace it as freedom.
Okay, yeah.
And by the way, those days, people are actually free. You are given the freedom of interaction. And that is what you come to find in campus.
Yeah. So yeah, I get that. So that freedom comes with, the mingle interaction, and you have your free time you can do. I guess we have the same definition of freedom, so there's no difference much.
Yeah, there's not much of a difference.
Yeah, the only difference comes when how you choose to use your freedom. Because hell, nobody's going to tell you in campus, oh, you should study or whatever. And procrastination, oh my god.
Triggers a lot.
It comes, willingly. You invite it willingly. You don't even have to, I don't know.
Struggle.
Yeah.
It follows.
So yeah, I mean that happens.
It happens.
But speaking about what would change for me when it comes to school or campus life or career, I'd start from the very first day when I chose my career. I am pursuing computer science, all right? And I'm in my third year, 3 years down the line. And one thing I can say for sure is, if I were to press the reset button, I would not do the course I'm doing right now. So hear me out. I have always wanted to do a medical course, okay? Not because it's prestigious or anything, but I've always wanted to be a nurse. Forget about being a doctor. I've always wanted to be a nurse. Maybe I have the belief that nurses help people, and I like helping people, right? So I wanted something of that sort. And when it came to choosing the courses, I've told you I have a strict mother. But she wasn't strict about that. She was like, you know what, just do whatever you want to do. I'm here to support you full time. So when I got the letter to come study computer science, I was bummed. I was like, no, I really wanted to do nursing, because I did my first revision, I didn't get a placement, and then for the second one, I got placement for computer science, which was my last option. Yeah. So my mom was like, okay, then try changing the course to nursing. Try diverting to maybe other schools. You can switch schools, and then switch courses or whatever. So I was hyped about it. Trust me, I did a lot of research. I looked for schools. I applied for schools.
You wanted to change it.
I did. I really wanted to do nursing. I wasn't well acquainted with computer science, so I didn't know where I was, what I was heading for. It wasn't my passion. When we talk about passion, I didn't even have it in mind, not even the slightest bit. Okay.
Yeah.
And then with the time, I told myself, that is a lot of fee. Like, it's a lot of money that a lot of pressure I want to give to my mom. Then I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go with what I have. Maybe there's a reason. You see how we console ourselves and tell ourselves, there's a reason why.
Everything happens for a reason.
Yeah, everything happens for a reason. So I was like, I just go and do CS. I just took it. But with the time in my second year, I was like, I didn't even know what I was doing by that time. But for now, I can say I have
settled.
I have settled enough. I have settled and have begun to love it. And yes, maybe time does heal wounds, and time helps you grow in it. But if I am to reset everything, I'd really strain to go for what I actually wanted. Yeah, as much as right now I'm settled and I'm getting into it enough, but I would change that. Yes, so that is what I'd change.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah,
that's good, of course. And because you've spoken about campus life, I want to go back to what you were speaking about, freedom. You see, for example, if we were to change something about freedom, you find that most of us have used our free time not in the best way they could have used it. Yeah, because maybe they're not aware of the discipline or their aims or their targets in life, and then they might have used their freedom in a wrong way. And most of us might want to reset. Most of us might want to press the button really hard so that they can do something in their first years, in their previous years when they actually joined campus. Because they might have had a lot of freedom in the start. And I'd say for myself, I can say I'd want to change something because when I came to campus, I had the perception of exposure, the perception of getting to learn new things, invention and stuff. Yeah, I knew campus had a lot. Most of us had been fantasized by movies and stuff. You watch those movies having teenage stuff and you'd see campus life. And then you say, actually, campus had exposure. Then you would come to campus and tell yourself, I'm not getting to campus. Let me get exposed. Let me invent something. Let me use something and do this and this and that. And then you find campus doesn't actually have that which you expected. You find the freedom that you had expected to find might actually entail a lot. Yeah, and then you find the discipline you add, you apply to the freedom you actually can possess, and then you find the invention and the exposure actually doesn't go hand in hand.
Yeah, they don't align.
Yeah, they don't align. And actually, the exposure in campus, I wouldn't say it is of the best. Actually, our parents cannot want us to embrace the exposure that is in campus. And I'd say I want to change that. To any person in campus who would want to think about exposure in campus, I'd actually want you to think about embracing innovation, embracing invention and all stuff in campus life, having the freedom and having the time that comes with it. Use it in the best way possible to actually get into something useful. Because exposure is something you call for yourself. It is something that goes hand in hand. It goes two-way. You call for exposure and it embraces you. It welcomes you. It is like respect. You respect somebody, they also respect you back. Yeah, that is how exposure also works. If you want to get exposed, choose things to get exposed to. Most of us might have wanted to change that a lot. We were exposed to things that we were not actually willing to do in the first place. We were exposed to things that we might not have thought about coming to find in campus. And because of our environment, it actually influences our growth so much.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, and then you find that the things you were exposed to actually now, the things you're growing into are not the best of things you'd want. For example, I wanted to actually get into something innovative, something inventive, but then I didn't find that. I'd want to change it because I now don't depend on the exposure that is there in campus, but I'd expose myself into invention.
So would you say it's because of like the campus we are in?
No, not the campus we are in.
Okay, what do you?
Because the campus we are in offers varied and a variety of innovation. A lot of invention.
I mean, it's literally, what is it the motto, or should we say it's what innovate? Was it
innovative? I don't know.
There's something about innovation though.
There's something about innovation, and then you find that in campus, and then you find people have actually gone into vast and varied types of innovation, and then you think about it, and then you look at yourself and the background you're coming from, and then you find yourself not progressing well with it. And then it now makes you hard. It actually even drives away the thought of having an innovative mind, an innovative time in campus. Not because of the campus you're in, but then because of the things that you want to get exposed to might not be so useful at the time. Because the youths today are just finding things to do. People having stress, people having a lot in mind, and then they're now involving themselves in things that in a rightful mind you wouldn't want to involve yourself with.
So it's how we utilize our time in campus and whatever we do with our time, right?
Yeah, that matters a lot. That one matters.
Actually, I would say the same thing, especially in my first year. No, I didn't do anything crazy or whatever. People have stories like, "Oh, I got into drugs, blah blah blah." I haven't done that, no. But looking back, I realized maybe I should have used my time better. I would have organized. Yes, everybody says that. I wish I used my time, but even the lecturer actually say that. I wish I used my time better or whatever. But it's true. Everybody would actually want to go back. Maybe it's because of, when we in high school, our teachers were like, study hard, get into campus. Campus, there are more opportunities. There are more. They used to say this. There are more men there, more handsome, smarter and handsome men.
Composed gentlemen.
The gentlemen find them in the campus, or you meet better people there. Yeah, which is true.
And they
you meet. They create a really big imagination and the expectation is at way too high, then probably others have gotten what they expected. I'm pretty sure there are a number of people who did, but not everybody. So if you do not get what you expected, you tend to drift your mind off like everything. You're like, you lose even the vigor to do what you initially wanted. It's not just about the boys or what. That is just a mere example. For me, I could say the campus I'm in has influenced, apart from the career, but like, so I didn't know anything about this campus, and I had this imagination of campus life. But then when I got here, it was actually the total opposite. It was total opposite of whatever I had figured out in my mind. So to come and get the groove of how things are going, the weather and all that, it was hard.
It was hard.
And it might sound silly, but your environment determines a lot that you do.
A lot, it does.
So here's the thing. I came with the imagination of, campus, you get exposed. You'll meet people with brilliant minds, brilliant ideas, and there is equipments. Campus has a lot of equipments.
Yeah.
You are able to do this and that. But coming here, I have to say I didn't get the equipment that I had in my mind. Yeah. Maybe we won't. Maybe I can't name all of them, but there are a lot of things that I wish there were, but there really aren't. And that changes a lot. That changes a lot about your view of campus life and all that. But anyway, we're here. We're here, and I'm almost done with campus. You can imagine, and I've survived.
You've survived.
And the fact that you have to adapt.
It really triggers.
Yeah.
It matters. It matters a lot.
Yeah.
It makes you feel yourself growing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and actually you can adapt to any place with whatever expectation you have. Even though changed, you can actually adapt to a new system and embrace it and move.
Yeah, sure. So have you adapted to the environment?
I have adapted to the
Did you find it also different from what you pictured?
I found it different. I actually found a lot different.
Yeah, true.
It matters friendship, it matters each and everything. You find everything I'd expected to find in campus. I actually found an opposite thing, but then I was glad that I embraced it very fast.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, embracing things, it may not take a similar time like the one it took for me, but then to anybody, by all means, if you're actually willing to embrace it, it will come to you. It will actually come to you and you will actually embrace it very fast and you'll actually appreciate the growth.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So do you love your career?
Yes, I love my career.
Oh, nice.
I love my career.
From the very, very beginning?
Not from the very beginning.
Oh.
Yeah, by all means.
Tell us about that.
Change is a gradual thing.
Yeah.
I said that. Change is a gradual thing. And as I was starting, it wasn't like your parents did it. Like, you see, you had an option. Your mom actually told you, you can actually do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Me, I was limited. I was actually limited to something, and I had to do something that would augur with whatever my parents wanted. And so my parents told me, when you're getting to campus, do something because we have a name.
Yeah.
You see,
it's always about the prestige. Yeah, true.
I never realized that at the moment.
Yeah.
I wanted to make my parents proud. That is what each and every child would feel. Yeah, when you're growing up, you're telling yourself, my parents have really done a lot, and I have to make them proud. They've been living under a name, and I need to raise that name, the standards. See, and so when I was getting to campus, my career was not that good. I wouldn't say it was what my parents wanted me to do. They wanted me to do something better. They used to believe I was brighter than what I was doing.
Oh, okay. Every parent believes that.
Yeah, believes that you should be doing something more. Yeah, and then I never thought, until today, I don't think that they were selfish to themselves. Yeah. But then I decide they always want the best for us.
True.
And whatever I'm doing today, even though the parents actually embraced it, I know they want more. And as I'm doing it today, because I've said I'm now proud of it, and I'm now actually satisfied with the going, I'd say my parents will also get satisfied in the meantime. It is something always tricky, and it may be facing most of us who may be having pressure wherever we are as youth. while you're growing, making choices. You're telling yourself, I'm making a choice, but then my parents, my friends, wherever they are not proud of it.
Yeah.
But then as you proceed, you realize that there is something beyond it. When you do your part and you do it good, you realize that there is something beyond whatever you're doing that can actually change, can have an impact to whatever your parents had perceived or your friends had perceived or whomever you want to make proud had perceived. And that can change a lot, actually. It has changed a lot until date, I'd say.
So, yeah, it's about the effort that you put in, actually.
Yeah,
it matters.
It matters.
In any space, actually. Not only career, I mean, look at us calling it career. Should we say career?
Should we?
I don't know.
I think we should just call it
career or the course.
because it is campus.
It is,
and whatever brought us to campus is
yeah, it is, right?
It is. You're actually right.
Even in high school, we were told, it's career week. We are going to be taught about. I remember it was career week. So yeah, it is career.
Because we come and teach you about career.
Oh God, don't bring up motivational speakers. I loved motivation, but 1 week later,
actually resolve into
you're back. Reset.
That is how people reset.
Yeah. So sorry.
And that is what is discipline. That is what is called discipline. Applying it in every sphere. Applying it everywhere. Not only in campus life, not only in academics, not only in career and whatever goal you have in life. You apply it everywhere. How you handle your lifestyle. And that one actually helps a lot. Yeah, because the mind is the citadel of all things. I'd say discipline starts in the mind. And that is how we proceed with it. If you want to press the button, you have to be disciplined. We spoke about discipline and I loved it.
Yeah, discipline is crucial.
Very crucial.
Well, I'm happy. I'm happy to know I wasn't the only one confused about their career getting here. But we get to the point where we fully love what we are doing. Eventually, it takes time. For me, it took me a lot of time to embrace it fully. And now that I have, I feel so good about it. I really do. I really do feel good about it.
You should actually feel good.
I mean, you don't know what the future holds, but
And not everyone actually embraces it.
Yeah.
Not everyone actually gets to the point of accepting whatever they have at present time.
Honestly, which is okay. Because things change, people change, people evolve, and your thoughts change. Your how you think, how you feel about things do change, and that's allowed.
It is.
Yeah. So, what other thing would you
want to change in campus? Want to change? You see, the reset button, as I said, the youths are living at a very vast kind of life that has a lot of aspects. You see, for example, now we're talking about career. I'd say it is the personal aspect. And I'd want to speak about the social aspect, which actually affects a lot of our youths today. See, for example, we are living in a life where you asked 3 years ago. You find that whatever life I'm living now in campus, 3 years later, is not the life I was living 3 years ago. Matters socially. Yeah, you find the friends I've now chosen to make today are not the same friends I used to choose to make back then. There was a certain kind of friendship I used to make back in the days. And I'd say, back in the time, it used to seem okay. People were actually jovial, people were actually into things that were explosive, things that were into the world and stuff. And then you find that when you grow, you change something. Not everything. You won't change everything because we also need to have friends. Yeah, we are youths and we are growing into adulthood and we need to have friends who can actually embrace us. And you find that in friendship, a lot of people have a lot of expectations. Matters consistency, matters trust, matters all that. And then you realize that not all that is about friendship. Friendship isn't about everything that we actually see. And a lot has been happening matters friendship to people who are in campus. You find that friendship do betrayal. The people you actually looked up to are the ones who are the first ones to backstab you. When the friends you had are the ones who actually speaking about you in the back. And then you realize it's not all about trust. It's not all about love. It's not all about other things we actually see and do by ourselves. But then if I'd want to change something about friendship, I'd tell you that I used to choose friends who would actually make me laugh. just to make me laugh.
Really?
Yeah, I wouldn't make them. I wouldn't even struggle to make them laugh. But then I would want them to make me laugh.
So it was about you being.
Was I so selfish? Was I not?
I mean, everybody is selfish.
Yeah, I was selfish to that extent.
Yeah.
And I wanted them to make me laugh. Whenever I was around them, I'd want to laugh, and I even start jokes that I'd want them to proceed on with.
So for you, you are the inventor of jokes for them.
Yeah, but then I'd
Do you
want
think
them
you're a
to.
funny person? Are
I
you?
think
You think?
I am a funny person,
Oh God.
and I choose an audience, by the way.
Okay.
I choose an audience. Like for that time, I used to choose my friends for that audience to be funny. Somebody
Based
who
on
did
their
think.
jokes.
Yeah, based on their
That
jokes.
is so weird.
Is it?
It is. How can you choose? Okay, I don't know. For me, it is. What do you mean you're choosing friends just because they're funny? So you'd
I'd
what?
choose.
How do
Normally
you
I'd
choose them? You'd listen to them speak, think, oh, this guy is funny. He can be my friend.
Yeah, and then you see, they're just these people in life who actually find it very easy to start a conversation with you. And then you'd speak a few words, and then the next minute you guys are laughing.
Yeah.
You're joking, and then I'd find that amusing.
Really?
I'd find it very actually very amusing to find a friend who can actually make me laugh in the past few minutes. And then I'd want to embrace them. I'd want to keep them close because these are people who will make you laugh each and every time, even when the things are not funny to others. But then you find it happy because you're used to them. You find it funny because they're your friends. And that is how you choose friends. And then you find yourself in a circle. Because I believe that made me see myself as a normal person because I was not only the one finding them funny.
Okay.
We were a group of friends.
So
We'd choose
you'd
ourselves.
find each other funny.
Yeah, so
Wow.
that is how we choose friend. And then when you grow up, when you actually come into life, you actually come into education and find things, you grow and then you realize it's not all about the laughs.
Yeah.
It's not all about that. People may be suffering under the laugh. As people may be actually going through a lot behind the laugh, but then they wouldn't speak about it because they just find you as a funny person. They tell you something and then you just make a joke out of it because you wouldn't say it as a serious thing.
Yeah.
And then you find these people, they only choose you for the jokes. They only choose you for the laughter and all stuff. They actually can't tell you something about their life so serious, so sensitive that they want you to listen and give them a solution.
Yeah, they're not comfortable enough to do that because all you do is laugh.
All you do is laugh.
It's all about the humor.
Yeah, it's all about the humor.
Okay.
I came to realize that, and I'd say that is what I'd want to change. Not choosing friends out of their laughter, not choosing friends out of the outward perception, but choose friends who you can actually find yourself growing with.
Yeah.
And growth in this case, I can mean a lot to those people who are suffering academically because that one is also suffering.
True.
Yeah, you find yourself suffering academically. You find somebody has friends in all the aspects. If he's suffering academically, he finds a friend who is strong academically, and then he chooses one from there.
Okay.
Then I say, I have a friend who is academically strong. That one I've sorted. It goes to another one. I am socially poor. I want to be somebody. For example, I'm an introvert.
Yeah.
And I'm interested in being an extrovert. Then I'll find a friend who is an extroverted person, who is a sanguine in nature, and then I'd want the person to actually assist me in getting to know people. Not that I want to know people by myself, but I want them to actually link me. Yeah, I need help. And then I did now choose a friend from there. You find
so you'd look at different aspects.
Yeah, different aspects, and then I get somebody.
Is that how you used to do it, or is that what you'd like to do?
I'm saying there's an example of somebody like
that.
Okay,
I see.
And I think it's something good.
Okay.
Because you can't also find somebody who is actually perfect in all these spheres.
True.
So you'd want to get somebody. They always say that I know a guy somewhere.
I know a guy.
I know a guy somewhere. So I'd want to do that.
Yeah.
I'd want to know a guy somewhere. When it comes to academics, I'd want to know a guy. Financials, I'd want to know a guy. Each and every aspect, I'd want to know a guy so that when I'm stuck somewhere, I just say, it's just a phone call away. And then because they have a certain perception of me as a friend, because they don't know the reason why I chose them, they just respond to my calls. Thinking they're actually saving me in most of the things.
That is sad.
But then there's just to save the aspect that I want them to
That
save.
is so sad.
But then, okay, it may be selfish and sad, but then provided we help each other in whatever aspect, because I also they might have chosen me for a different purpose. And then because maybe I satisfy their purpose and they also satisfy mine, friends for benefit.
So it's all about friends for benefits.
But
oh God,
but
okay, I don't
I'd
know.
say that is what somebody can change actually when it comes to the perception we have about friendship.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, it's not all about the benefits.
Especially, I feel like especially for men, it's always about the benefits.
It is for men.
Yeah.
But then I won't speak in a general matter.
Yeah, no, I get that. Everybody is different.
And you find other men who actually value friendship so much.
So much, yeah.
They value it so much. They're just not using it for benefits, but then they value the friendship. Just having somebody who you call a friend.
Yeah.
There are men who actually value it so much. I know ladies do it so much.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, ladies live their lives in friendship. I have a friend.
Yeah.
I have somebody I can call a friend, a boyfriend, a girlfriend. You see, ladies actually esteem it so much. But then to men, most of us, I'd say, actually find it beneficial. And men actually make friends very easily. Because they realize their needs very fast.
Okay.
If I want somebody who is a fan of football and I'm interested in football, it is very easy to find a friend of such aspect. I just find something to speak about football, and then I find somebody who is actually contented in that.
About the matter.
Has a lot of content about the football, and then I just make a friend immediately in a club, in a studio somewhere, or people watching football. The person seated next to me would be my friend.
Yeah.
In the minute and for days to come.
Okay.
If we proceed in the same way. And that is if I want to benefit in my aspect.
Yeah.
And to some people it may seem good. To some people it may not. According to how you define friendship. And then you just realize that everything is not about friendship, consistency, trust. Because some of us are living with friends whom we do not trust, but then we call them friends, and because you're getting benefit. Yeah.
Yeah. As long as you get benefit from them, then you're like, you know what? Just
what's the need of trust? What's the need of
ouch.
Trust? And other keywords, other pillars of friendship, other things that can actually make the friendship stronger. Things like love. You can actually love your friend, and that one strengthens it. You can actually enjoy their presence. You can actually enjoy when they are around. You can actually enjoy their brain also.
True.
Yeah, you can find intellectual friends. You tell yourself that I have a friend somewhere who is intellectual. You can save the situation. Yeah. And then you realize the other pillars that can actually strengthen friendship.
That reminds me. There's I think it was last year. Somebody asked me a question, which I don't know. It got me thinking. So the question was: imagine you're invited to an event, a very important event, yeah, and then you are not able to make it. Say the day is due, say tomorrow or just that day, and a situation happens, you're not able to make it. Do you think from your list of friends there's somebody you can call to go in your in your stead, yeah, to go in your stead, and they'd get into that room and own the room as much as you would? Because for you to get into an important gathering, you must also be somewhere. So do you think that is a question for us to ask ourselves? Okay, not something we'll answer, just a rhetorical question. Would you say, yeah, I know a guy, and this guy is like your friend, your actual friend,
and satisfy the situation?
Yeah, true. Interesting, right? Interesting. It was an interesting. Yeah. Well, I have to say, I'm proud to say I do have friends like that. I have friends I can call, and I do.
I think I should be counting them.
Yeah.
And if you have a friend you can count him, then I should be counting you as a friend.
Oh yeah, thank you. You should.
To satisfy the room.
You can.
To own it, I can. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Okay, so about friendship, as we were talking about, I also have a few things I can change about friendships. Nah, scratch that. I have a lot of things. I have a lot of things I can change. Yeah, about friendship. So we're talking about like 2 to 3. Okay, let's make it 2 to 3 or maybe 5, whatever time span you'd like to like reset. For me, I'd reset high school, because I feel like high school is the base for growth, where you find yourself, self-identity is there. You get to grow your career because you're working towards the career you want to pursue. So for me, I'd start from high school. So here's the thing. Just to be clear, the high school me and the current me, I feel like they're totally different. Okay, not totally different, but I am an improved version of who I was then. And this is the thing. I used to believe that matters friendship, you should, I don't know how to put this, but it's like, you be a good person, be kind, do good deeds, and then people will love you. Okay? But I came to realize that that is not the case. You being a good person or a nice person or, being kind to people doesn't earn you love. People won't love you because you're kind. Yeah.
They will pity you.
Ouch.
Yeah, they will. Some people actually will stay around you. They support you in things because they pity you. They
Yeah.
just say, but he's a lover boy.
God, now I feel judged.
Yeah, he's a humble kid.
Oh
Why should we
God,
hurt him?
are you
Why
judging
should
me
we hurt
inwardly?
him? No, I'm not.
No, but it is true. It is true. Because that is what I used to think. I used to think that, be a good friend, be a good person. So this is what I used to do. Let me give you a scenario. Okay. Is it okay? Maybe a general view. I was the kind of person who, to my friends, I was very loyal. I still am loyal. Okay. I'm a very good friend. I'd help them out whenever they need my help, when they're in trouble or they need any help. I would do it. No questions asked. But then when there's like the happy moments, I'd step back, thinking in my head, oh well, I was there for her when she was in need. So, we're friends automatically. No, it doesn't work like that. It doesn't. And I used to feel so bad when somebody won't acknowledge me in their happy or their their success, however minor it was. I'd feel so bad. I came to realize that was not it. That is not how things work. I'd be like, in my head, I'd be like, oh, now they're in a better place. They don't need me anymore. I was a good friend. For me, being a good friend is you being there when there's need. I didn't, but right now I come to realize that friendship is about both sides, the hardship and the happiness. Looking back, I come to realize, no, those people were exploiting me.
Yeah.
I was being exploited so bad.
You wanted to get involved in the happiness.
Yeah. Actually, it was more of I wanted to get involved in the sadness. I think I was just sad. I was such a sad kid. Okay, I wasn't okay, I wasn't, not like I was a sad kid, but I don't know. There's just something sad about me.
You wanted people in need to seek you.
Yes. It's like I was a therapist. And by the way, you see, this is the thing. In high school, I was a therapist to people. I was a nurse.
You'd actually nurse people's wounds.
I would. I was the person who people would run to when they need help.
But
yes. I mean, they can, but don't exploit me. I know my boundaries. Right now, I can say I know my boundaries. So I have said about boundaries, by the way. I didn't have boundaries. In friendships, healthy friendships, whatever, actually relationships, any relationship, whether family or friends or your cosmate or even work, for those who go to work, your work space, the work environment, or your relationship, say romantic relationship, or even just friendship. Yes, there has to be boundaries. You have to set boundaries. I did not do that for myself. I am realizing it now. Okay, once I got into campus, that's when I realized it. And to be honest, it didn't take a long time. I actually started realizing it even before I got into campus. And that goes to my sister. So here's the thing. Growing up, I didn't grow up with my sister around. I can't remember much of my childhood. I guess, I don't know. I honestly can't. You know how people remember?
It must have been a good one.
I feel like it was a good one.
Yeah, it was a good one.
I thank God for that.
For those people who actually remember it, some are facing trauma.
Yeah.
Some are facing childhood, I don't know.
True.
Yeah. Then that makes them remember. They actually remember. But then if it was a good one, a peaceful one, then the one that would actually make you grow. Then you see, when you grow, you actually forget the things that were actually deterring you from growing. You forget them. And that is why I'd say yours might have been a good one, because you don't remember. Well,
when I was like tiny. Okay, no, let me don't use tiny. Say around 6, 7, 8. I can't remember much. I would remember maybe from 9. Yeah, from 9 years and above. I would remember. So it wasn't too dramatic. Yes, there's like the stories, but I hear them. Most of them I hear, especially when I was young. I can't remember quite well. But the thing is, I didn't grow up with my sister a lot. She was from the time I said I could remember it. I can't remember. She's off to high school, and most of the time she'd live with my uncle. Yeah, so it was just my brother and I. So we didn't have that relationship with my sister. That
close
yeah, we didn't have a really close relationship with my sister. But once I finished high school, I stayed with my sister for like 1.5 months. And trust me, that changed a lot in me. Okay?
All the years you hadn't spent with her.
Yes, it's like we were living. I don't know if she even noticed, but I'd listen to her speak. We'd talk casual conversations, but then we'd get deep. We'd get so deep. Maybe not into details for me. I feel like since we didn't have that close of a relationship, I wouldn't like open up into details. Yeah. But then listening to her, she'd speak generally, but
there was weight in it.
There was a lot of weight, and that thing changed me a lot. She's helped me grow into the woman I am becoming, which I'm very proud of. Thank you so much, sister. I love you so much. Never forget that. I really appreciate that.
Many of us may want sisters like that.
I feel so sorry for people who don't have elder sisters, because trust me, I have the best there is. Oh, you do?
We appreciate.
Nice.
Then you find it easy because somebody as you, our host today, Susan.
Yeah.
You actually find your way into deeper things very, very easily.
Yeah.
You actually read into deep things.
Yeah, I do that.
You get deep easily.
I do that.
Yeah, without somebody actually realizing. So that is why you might have found it easy for your sister to actually say things generally, but with weight, because you get deep.
Yeah.
Somebody as I wouldn't say I per se, but then somebody else would actually just feel it as a casual thing.
Okay.
Wouldn't realize the weight in the words, but then you do.
I do.
And I'd wish all the youths would be like you. I'd say.
People say I'm boring because I tend to read too deep into things, which I feel like helps me a lot.
It helps you.
It helps me a lot.
Yeah. Because people actually want to benefit by themselves.
Yeah.
So when you benefit, they feel it boring.
I guess so.
Yeah. Everyone always wants a two-way or a one-way that leads to them. Yeah.
Oh God.
If it has to be a way, then let it be a two-way or a one-way that leads to them.
They have to benefit.
Yeah,
they have to benefit.
Yeah. At the end of it, they have to benefit. And you'd find that you had benefited in that because you went deep, and your sister also might have benefited from that because she wanted to grow close to her sister.
Oh, and she did. She succeeded at that, I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
So your intentions might have been different, but then it led to something beneficial to both of you.
Yeah.
And that is good. That is all about
friendship. It is good, yeah, true.
Yeah.
So it taught me a lot. So getting into campus, I get to, set my boundaries. I knew nothing about. Okay, I knew there was boundaries, but I was reluctant about it. I was like, I'll be too harsh on people. People this, people that. But at that point, I was not thinking about me. All right, I didn't even know there was a me to consider.
You were considerate about the others.
You
wanted to put them before you.
More like I was demeaning myself and becoming a people's pleaser, which I struggled with a lot, by the way. And it's not something that you have to grow overnight. It does not go away overnight, but it takes time. But once you invest in yourself, it becomes easier.
Yeah, you can feel yourself growing.
Yeah, so I'd say friendship is a very crucial topic to talk about. Yeah,
it is.
Yeah, it matters a lot.
It matters, and it will impact. It will impact a lot in friendship. When you actually want to reset the button, think about friendship. Yeah. The way you choose friends, the way I've told you, the way you choose friends matters a lot. The way you make decisions, the intention you have when choosing friends, very critical. Some of us want to grow through friendship. Some of us want to benefit through friendship. And some of us just want to have people around them they call friends. Yeah. That one also matters. And when you want to reset it, at the moment it may feel good. But then if you're still in the course of growth, you will come to understand that there are things you can actually want to change. And as we said, change is gradual.
Yeah.
I'd want to change something today that I didn't do 2 or 3 years ago.
True.
And that one will actually change a lot. It will impact a lot in the life I'm living now socially. And now I interact with friends, I interact with relatives, siblings, family, and all stuff. Even colleagues, it will actually matter a lot. Because friends are people who are actually close to us. Yeah, because a friend, matters spiritual define friends as, they say a brother, there's a friend who sticks closer to you than a brother.
Yeah.
And then they say, a brother would stick at a time of adversity. And then a friend would be there at all times. So it depends. When you want to actually advance from friendship to brotherhood, you can do that. That would be somebody who would stick in a time of adversity.
Yeah.
But then a friend would be there at all times. Regardless of the benefits, regardless of the growth, and regardless of all stuff. So whatever you'd want to change, you can actually change it because that is growth.
Yeah, true. That is growth. And once you grow out of the you that you are, the negative you are, because we want to grow out of things that used to kill us inside silently. You get to the point where, like, personally, I am at the point where I love intentional friends. I am so keen with my friendships, okay?
So that you can know.
Yeah, I do have a lot of friends.
Yeah, you do.
But then there are close friends. For me, having a close friend is very important.
Yeah,
it's very important.
is.
There's somebody you can call at any time. And I feel like I do have friends whom I don't even have to question. Am I really their friend? It's different when you're thinking inwardly. You're like, do they see me as, as their friend, or is it just me who sees them as a friend? But then the people who you are so confident to say, yeah, I don't even have to confirm. I know it for sure. I am loved by them. I am cared for by them. Like the people I can count on.
You can depend on
I can such friendship, powerful friendships.
Yeah.
And if anything, I have gotten 2 really strong friends from high school, whom I carried from high school
till date.
Very solid.
Oh, the friends.
It's the fact that I don't even have to stop to think, oh God, we haven't spoken in like a week or in 2 days, and you feel weird. You can imagine in high school, I was this kind of person whom we have to talk daily. Family friend, I have to talk to you daily. Because in my head, I'm like, maybe if I don't talk to her, she'll forget. Oh my God.
Was that how so much you were naive?
It was that I was.
Oh, you were.
I was.
I wish I could have been your friend back in the days.
Really?
Oh, who wouldn't want? I'd want a friend like that. A friend would think if they fail to speak to me in a day, I'd forget them.
Dude, that is bad.
Oh, my friend.
That is bad.
My friends wanted me to laugh. They wanted me at a time they wanted to laugh.
Really?
Me forgetting them or not was not even an issue.
It was just
failing
the
to
humor.
speak to them. But then you'd feel, today I haven't spoken today. Today we haven't even laughed.
Yeah.
Then they just find you.
No, but it's different when, I don't know, there's a difference when you feel the absence of somebody.
Yeah, you feel the absence.
And when you force yourself into the presence of somebody.
Yeah.
Because I'd want to talk to them every day. I'd want to interact. Just in my head, I'm like, just so they don't forget me. They don't forget I exist. Okay?
Were you an introvert before?
I don't know. Was I? I don't think I was. I've never been an introvert.
For you to actually feel that way, you might have been an introvert who is actually embracing extroversy and now doesn't want to be left out. You want to get into something and then you don't want it to fade.
Okay.
Yeah, it is something you're not used to. Maybe you hadn't had friends earlier, and if you had, they had gone.
No, that is true, because I can't think of, how can I put it? Through primary, I told you high school is where you come to realize yourself. So I didn't know matters friendship until I got into high school. That's when I realized, so you can have friends whom you can talk to about anything and everything.
And they're consistent people. People.
So I'd like to have that.
You see that.
But then I didn't know how to approach it really.
Yeah, you see that.
For me, friendship was like, from my end, I have to be the one to do the work. It doesn't matter if they didn't do anything, but I had to do it.
You had to do something.
Yes. It was just, I had to give. But the receiving end was optional. That is so toxic. I was so toxic to myself. Oh my God. I'm so sorry. To my younger self.
Till date?
No, I'm not.
You're not the one to
I want to believe I'm not.
Yeah, you want people to work. If I'm working, you're also working.
Yeah, I'd love you to be comfortable with somebody.
Okay.
All right. For you to know that, okay, I am wanted here. I have to know that I am wanted. Because once people realize that you're somebody who gives and don't mind if you don't receive, they use you.
Yeah, they do.
They use you so bad.
And that
applies.
You know, if I was the selfish friend I was back in the days, I'd want to have a friend as you, very close. Somebody who do all the work.
Oh my God.
I don't.
You're such a narcissist.
Everyone always wants to benefit.
Oh, okay. There's different levels of benefits. Yours is just toxic.
Hey, you find somebody doing something, doing all the work for you.
God, I used to be
the one
that
who is
friend.
maintaining. Okay, it ain't a good thing to be the one maintaining the friendship, the relationship. But then, the people who are actually being helped, the people who are actually not doing the work,
the beneficiaries.
Those people actually feel
God.
good. Those people, they take advantage.
Yeah.
And taking advantage is always good until you're the one who is being taken
advantage of. Sure. True.
Yeah, if you're the one being taken advantage of, you now realize where you actually messed.
Yeah.
And then some people just tell themselves, but I also take advantage of other people, so it doesn't burn me. But then it ain't a good thing to actually be the one being a beneficiary in a relationship that you can actually contribute something to. Yeah, it really matters. If you want to become a good friend, the way you are, you actually need to feel the content. Yeah, the way you are. You really need good friends at the time.
Intentional friends.
Yeah, intentional friends.
It's nice.
For you to be a good youth, you should have a friend you can actually feel comfortable around.
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody you can actually speak about. Not only laughter. You might be laughing, but then these are people you cannot tell intimate, sensitive stuff you feel. But then if you have a friend, but then don't expect your friends to be actually all around perfect.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, they want to be perfect. But then if you can be comfortable around them, then hold them. Bring them closer. Make them dear, because friendship also matters a lot. Yeah. The current world you're living in, the closest people, if not your parents and if not your siblings, can be friends.
Yeah. And in the current world, I feel like family is, I don't know, it's shattered.
It's shattered. It's fading away.
Especially once somebody gets into campus, it's like they detach from their parents. I don't understand why. I can't relate, honestly. I cannot relate. Yeah, for me, I can't relate because mine has been growing closer.
Oh.
Yeah. But for others, for the stories I've had, they grow distant.
But I can relate.
Yeah.
I can say something about it.
Really?
You see, the attachment with the family, it is really sensitive. And most of us don't realize it until we actually gone away.
So we should talk about that maybe in a upcoming...
I think we should
We'll look for a segment, talk about that. Yeah, true.
We'll speak about it. Detachment from family.
Yeah.
It is very sensitive. It is affecting the youths today.
A lot.
And it should be spoken about. We might have realized it. Some might have realized it, like I have realized it. Some may not have realized it, and some are not even realizing it.
Yeah.
Some don't even see like they're detaching. They're just finding themselves drifting unawares.
And that drift, some find it normal. They're like, no, that's how my family is. It's not supposed to be normal.
Imagine. The tension will come to them. It is there blatantly. They don't know it, but then they will come to know it one day.
True.
Yeah, they will come to face it.
Yeah. Another thing about talking about friendship still, which I feel like I have changed. Yes, we were talking about things that we would change, but for me, I feel like they were there in the past, but they're not there right now.
Yeah,
so maybe I got a chance to click the research button, but I didn't realize I did, which is a good thing.
Yeah, it is
a good thing. So thing is, people should come to realize that in friendship or any relationship, rather, whether two people involved, it has to be both parties.
Yeah.
The same way a friendship takes two people, both the parties have to be involved.
They have to.
Yeah. Whether it's to keep the friendship going. Yeah. Okay. And also don't expect, yes, we can't have like one or two friends only. We have a lot of friends. But don't expect to have the same energy from all the friends.
Yeah.
You know,
you won't
that's why I talked about close friends. These might be one or two people.
Yeah.
Maybe three people.
Maybe three if it goes.
Yeah, at most three people. Yeah. These are people whom you can talk too about anything, blatant truths, things you go through, the struggles or the achievements, happiness. As you said, rounding back to what you said earlier about how people choose friendship based on different
intentions.
Yeah.
The
other person is financial financial reasons.
Yeah, for financial reasons. Yeah.
Yeah, and the other person is he's fun.
Yeah, he's just a fun.
Yeah, he's got the vibe.
Yeah,
he brings the vibe. You know, the vibe to the party. And the other person will be like, this is for my emotional support. But then there's that one person or two. You find almost all these things. Yes, we can't be perfect.
Yeah, we can't.
But you're comfortable around them. They don't have to be funny, but you can speak to them and still feel at home.
You feel at home.
I always say some friendships feel like home.
Some do.
Some do feel like home.
We call them family away from family.
Yes. It is such a nice experience. I have such friendships.
And imagine if you felt that. By all means, you want to go back.
Yeah.
You will always want to have a friend like that, even if they've drifted, even if whatever happened. You will always want to have such a home.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, such a home. That is friendship.
Imagine you being in a situation where, like yesterday night, I was, I told you about this, yeah? So I was trying to record a podcast, but then I couldn't because the internet was not as stable. I was so frustrated.
You are.
You know, the first thing I thought of, let me call my brother.
Oh.
And I called my brother. I was like, you know what? I just want to call my brother. That is home.
That is home.
That is home.
Feel it. You need the first thought that comes to you. That is home. Somebody you can rely on, like almost immediately. And then you expect a solution and you actually find it.
Forget about expecting solution. You know what I told him? Okay, this is what I told him. I told him, please tell me I am strong and I am smart and I can do this because...
Because I actually need to.
Yeah, because it's hard and it happened last week as I was uploading my first episode. I said I am not a social media person. I am new into social media.
New into it.
Honestly, I didn't even know how to upload a video on YouTube.
And then you're requesting from him.
No,
Tell me I'm a smart man. Tell me.
He also doesn't actually. He also didn't know. I'm pretty sure he still doesn't. Okay, I had, watched YouTube videos on how to post a video on YouTube, blah, blah, blah. It happens. And followed everything. But it wasn't working.
Ouch.
It wasn't. I was so frustrated. And if you noticed, the video went up late, about like 1.5 hours later. Because the initial plan was to do it by 8. By 8 a.m. But then it was out at around 9:40.
Oh. But at least it came as soon as that. For a beginner.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Good. That one was actually
So good. I struggled a lot. And again, the first thing I did was to call my brother.
Oh.
Too bad he didn't pick up. He was busy. I get it. He was busy. But then, he didn't pick up. I called again. He didn't pick up. Then I called a friend of mine. And I told them, I'm struggling. I can't. At that time, I was almost in tears. Because the anticipation that had been there for the first episode, I was so nervous and all that. And it was making me more nervous.
It was.
I was like, what? I'm like, what is going on?
So I called this. It has to happen.
And one thing that I look back to that time and I'm grateful for is my friend told me, are you in the house? I'm like, yeah, I'm in my house. I'm coming right now. 10 minutes later, she was there. She helped me through it. She was like, don't worry, I am here. Breathe. Breathe.
Stop panicking.
It might seem small, but it's important.
It is important.
It's important.
Very sensitive.
It is. Yeah. People who feel like home.
Yeah. People who actually make you feel home.
So yes, I have friends who make me feel like I'm at home. That is very important.
That is very important.
Yeah.
Yeah. The only thing you can feel is at home in a friend.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Important.
You actually need it.
So for people who feel like they don't have the best friendships and you want to press the reset button, think about such things. You have to put yourself in the picture. Don't let other people overshadow you, by the way. Right? Healthy friendships are those that will encourage you and good friendships are people who don't make you feel like you're not supposed to be in the same room as them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something that will shape you up.
Yes. Find people who make you feel like you are worthy being in that room, and you can even be better. You can be more in whatever space you get into.
Yes.
Yeah.
They appreciate your abilities. They appreciate your presence.
Yeah.
Those are friends.
Oh, I also appreciate your presence here.
I do also.
Thank you. Yeah. So that is nice. So another thing that I would change. What is another thing that you'd change apart from all the things that we have said?
Can you speak about relationship, love?
Yeah, sure. Please do.
I don't know. That one I think most of the youths will actually want to change.
Yeah, true.
Some of us have faced the worst experiences, matters relationship, matters intimacy. We had a lot of expectations. And expectations will actually come to kill the youths one day. It will. We just have a lot of expectations from the fantasies we have, and then it just turns out the other way around.
Yeah.
Imagine you had a certain energy, and then the actual thing, the real thing now is giving you a totally different and opposite energy with the same intensity. You can actually get shattered.
Yeah.
And most of us can bear testimony.
Oh, can you?
Can I?
Can you?
I will one day.
One day. Why not today? Okay, one day it is.
One day I will bear testimony of an experience.
Well, for me, let's see. Matters relationship. I feel like this is a very heavy topic, especially in the youthful age. It is a heavy topic. For me also it is. So I got into campus in my first year. You're grooving to the energy. You got into campus,
you
man.
You got into campus.
Yes.
You're getting into
You're
life.
a comrade.
Out.
You have the freedom. You can do whatever you want to do. And that got to me. It got to me.
May the feeling always endure.
Yeah, true. So, you know what? I got into campus. I made friends. I made good friends. And then here's the thing. My friends were in relationships. And I wasn't.
Ouch.
My friends were in relationships. And I wasn't. And peer pressure got to me. It is real. It hit me.
Sure.
I was like, okay, it's Friday and people are going. I'm going to my boyfriend. I'm going to my girlfriend. I'm taking my girlfriend out, and I'm like, okay, I'm going home, guys. Do you know how weird it is when your friend says, oh no, I'm spending the weekend at my boyfriend's. I'm spending the weekend with my girlfriend. And you're like, oh, I'll just be at home.
Because you don't have anywhere to go. Ouch.
I mean,
the pressure comes.
The pressure hits you because you don't have people to spend time with because they're busy with their people. And then you're alone because my people were my friends.
And now they have gone to their people.
Yeah, they have people who they go to. Oh my God. I was like, you know what? No.
The pressure hits.
No, the pressure hit me.
Yeah, it does.
And I feel like that is something I'd want to reset. Something I want to reset because the pressure hit me. And then I decided, I said, whatever come may, I'm looking for a boyfriend myself. Mommy, I am sorry. No, but okay. I told my mom, I talked to my mom about it. I told her, Mom, I met this guy and we clicked. So she knew. She knew about.
You felt a different energy.
Yeah.
Not just friendship. But then you felt something strong.
No. I mean, I got into a relationship with somebody. I respect that guy. No hate or whatever. I told my mom about it. And she's like, oh, cool. Just, take care of yourself. I'm like, Chonjo. Yes, good. I will. It was long distance.
Oh, it was long
distance. It was long distance.
Was it pressure? Was it only pressure that took you to it?
It was. I'd be honest. I won't even lie to you. It was the pressure of, I am now in campus. I'm supposed to have a boyfriend.
You're supposed to have a boyfriend because people are going to their people.
Yeah.
Then you're going to Netflix and learn a thing.
And thing is, 1.1 was okay until the end of around the end of 1.1 now. Everybody got their people.
Yeah,
my friend group. People were having their people. Now I didn't have my person. So I started questioning myself. Am I the one with the problems?
Are you? You can actually ask yourself that actually.
Yeah. Am I the one at fault?
Yeah, am I the one at fault?
This guy came, sweet talked to me, and I was like, you know what? Yes. And to make it worse, maybe it is worse. It was online.
Oh.
It was an online dating. But it felt so right. Because, I'd have somebody to talk to at night.
To also go to.
Not really go to. We'd meet really minimal times.
See, because people were going to their people, and now you wanted to go to someone. You go to him in the phone.
It's true.
You can
have conversation.
You would also brag about having somebody.
I also have somebody.
Somebody you'd actually not even met.
Yeah, but
then just the pride of having someone.
Yeah, that pride
made
of
you
having
feel
somebody.
At home, feel belonging.
But later on, I come to realize that this is not what I really want.
Yeah, it is not.
At first, it was hype. The hype was nice. Mm-hmm. It felt good having somebody to talk to call. Oh, babe. Oh, I love you, and all that.
Somebody would actually respond with a romantic gesture.
Yeah. But with the time I came to realize, that is not what I want. Mm-hmm. Or like I rushed and all that.
Yeah, you had gone into it because of pressure.
Yeah, so
relationship had a lot.
I told you when I got into campus, I decided to, be intentional with myself. Mm-hmm. If I want something, I'd go for it. Yeah. And I feel maybe it is selfish, but I decided to put myself first, get to know me more.
Yeah.
Get to know me first before I even involve myself with people.
Yeah.
So I talked to them. I talked to him, and it wasn't smooth. Of course.
Yeah, it was
heartbreaks and all that.
So you were the one who broke it.
Sadly, I did.
Sorry
don't
for you,
judge me. Don't judge me. But
sorry for you, Mom.
But
then you are respected.
I respect him so much.
Would not wish for that.
Yeah.
Men out here, you're being outbroken.
Oh no, I do respect men. Trust me.
But then actually, you're respected.
Yeah.
I can give a testimony about relationship.
Yeah.
I can call it infatuation. Mm-hmm. The one you think you love someone.
Oh God, but it's just yeah.
Mm-hmm. But then let me tell you something. You may always feel like you have the perfect person until you find somebody perfect. And then you now linger into two options.
Dude.
Ouch.
You did not.
And imagine you have to be content. You have to bear the pressure because you have a chance of getting into the other perfect person you see.
There's nothing as perfect. There's no such thing as perfect, guys.
Like something you want, something that fits your expectations, something that fits your wants.
Yeah.
But then you have somebody who formerly fitted your wants.
Now she doesn't just because you've seen somebody.
Maybe she does, but then there is somebody who actually goes an extra mile.
So there's a plus.
Imagine.
Oof, that is hard.
And it pains, and it works. It happens to most of us out here.
Yeah, it does.
You have somebody, but then you have to stick to them because you have them. But then you have a chance to getting to somebody who can actually do something more.
Yeah, it's not like the prior people lacked. It's just because you didn't get to the point of knowing what you wanted, kabisa.
Imagine.
Yeah.
And that is infatuation. You think you love, even the person you actually seeing currently, the one you're seeing that can actually fit all your wants and more.
The picture perfect person.
That one is also an infatuation. You think you love them, but then until you grow, it's when you actually know you didn't actually want.
Yeah, it starts with you.
Yeah, it starts
even
with you.
Let us go back to the Bible, okay? Christ says, love your neighbor as you love yourself. And I know it is a general love or whatever, but it begins with yourself.
You have to love self.
You extend the love that you have for you to others. You can't pour to other people from an empty cup.
Yeah, and yourself is one.
Yeah.
That teaches you that if you love somebody, love them the way you love yourself.
Yeah, true.
You want to love yourself and then you fail at some point loving yourself. If you love yourself, you'll actually love yourself. And that is how you're supposed to love somebody else.
Yeah,
if at all you are to love, that is how it actually should work.
So
in
it begins with you.
Yeah. And then the love we actually see as youths today, most of us are getting into it, getting attached, getting at broken recklessly.
This is another thing you're supposed to talk about widely,
Ouch.
Broadly in in episodes to come.
Yeah, it is something.
Because it is something
attachments
that is heavy.
and stuff.
Yeah.
But then maturity is key.
Maturity is
in
key.
relationships.
Yes.
Maturity is very key. If you find somebody mature, even if it started as infatuation, it can grow into something actually reasonable. But then finding the mature guys, also a task.
Oh, that is
Also
another
a
one.
task.
Well,
But then we'll get into it. we'll discuss more about it.
Yeah, true.
Attachments, heartbreaks and stuff, and how you can grow out of them. Matters.
Boy, did you get heartbroken?
No, I didn't. By all means.
Are you sure?
If they thought they had heartbroken me, then you didn't.
Oh my God.
I wouldn't reset a button on that.
Oh.
But if it was so, I would reset it double and double and double, over and over again. Yeah, because who would want a heartbreak? Yeah. Who? Would you?
Well, I have had my fair share of heartbreaks. Yeah. Okay, not heartbreaks. Hear me out. It wasn't like from a relationship, but have you ever had a crush on somebody?
Yes, I have.
I'm not talking about like you look at somebody and say, "Oh my God, he looks so good. She looks so good," and you're like, I have a crush on them. No, a crush that lingers for like 2 years.
I might have spoken about this, but then there's one I have right now.
Oh, so it was it's a current thing. I see.
There was one I had, apparently, and I was trying to hide it from self.
Okay.
Because I knew crushes always get us disappointed.
God, I know all about that.
And so I don't want to take it as a crush, but then there was one. And
is it a was or there is one?
Should I look at you in the eye when saying this?
Yeah, you should.
Yes, I am.
So it's a current thingy?
Yeah, crushes are there. And I have a certain crush, and I'm saying it intoxicating me.
Oh, God.
I'm saying it out. The way crushes always end up.
It's not always pretty.
It ain't always
You see how movies tend to bring it like, a
certain picture, you have a certain image of you finding a crush in somebody, and then it turns out.
And then you meet 5 years later.
Imagine.
And then you end up loving each other. Oh my God.
They lived happily ever after.
Trust me, if anything, crushes, I feel like crushes have the worst heartbreaks. Especially those that linger for long.
They have. Ouch.
Now hear me out.
Your experience.
Blatant honesty, we said, right?
Yeah, it is blatant.
So there's this person, this one, hey.
Ouch.
Person M. Person M. Or it's always X.
Yeah,
That's his X.
There was a crush on person X.
Person X was the ideal person.
H.
All right. It was, he doing all the right things, saying all the right words. Okay. But reality hits you, man. Reality hits you.
Living in a fictional world. When reality comes.
When reality hits you, it hits hard and bad.
That one is weighty from experience.
It is weighty. We'll talk about it another time, not now.
Reality hits.
No, I have moved on from it, but it was brutal. It was brutal.
Just crush. Imagine crushes have the worst heartbreaks.
I know, right?
When you know you want somebody, you can actually... You'll be thinking of them.
Yeah.
But then you ain't sure if they're thinking of you the same way you
Forget that. Okay. Seeing them moving with... Okay. Having somebody already...
That one is painful. Having somebody. Ouch.
Even worse, yeah?
That one is worse.
Crushes?
Just because you didn't declare your territory. Going.
Imagine. Crushes are the worst.
First, taking your territories. Meet your territory. Mark your territory as friend, because
people should, The
moment it will leave, it will fly painfully.
Yeah, but again, you can't force it on people.
Yeah, you can.
You can't force it on people. Yeah, and it's funny how I've told you they were saying all the right things and doing all the right things, but then looking at it later on, I'm like, wait, they were that way with everybody.
Ouch.
But it's also kind of different. I don't know. Maybe it's just my...
It hits differently because
I don't know.
For someone to actually allow you to get into that space, it really means a lot. Maybe to them, or to you, they want you to feel the space because they've allowed you to do.
People should know how to treat people. If you mean to have this person as a special person, please let it be distinct. Distinct that it shouts. It shouts. Okay, in bold colors.
That one has taught me a lesson.
Yeah.
And it should teach others also.
It should.
When you make it specific, please make it shout.
Be intentional with the people. Okay, take it. Say, for example, you have a crush on somebody, or maybe just you like this person, but then you're treating her the same way as others. Or the difference is so slim that somebody can't even pick it out.
Ouch.
No, make it bold, make it ambiguous. Let the world know that there's there's a distinction. Okay, that is something we should be talking about. Right?
We should.
We will talk about it.
We will speak about it because I believe you're not only speaking to our listeners, but you're also speaking to me.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Oh my God.
I feel like I'm the audience.
Nice to have an audience on set.
I have a similar experience, and I think I will have a button to press.
You should press that button.
I will have a button.
Oh, I'm so glad you got to learn something today.
I will make it bold.
But one thing for sure, crushes, oh my God. I mean, having a crush is nice. You know, the thought of the silent smiles.
Imagine.
When you get into a room where you want to, like, your eyes scan the room for them first. And then when they enter, when they get into the room, you feel like the air is snatched from your lungs. Please, let's continue. This is
knowing just knowing somebody, seeing somebody, and you're telling yourself, this either be my best love or my worst heartbreak.
Yeah, it's either the two.
It's either the two. There's nothing in between. It's either your best love, or your worst heartbreak.
Yeah,
the one that will scatter you.
So forget infatuation and all that. So this is the real deal.
Hey,
I want to believe it is.
It is the real deal. Having a crush. Yeah. It may be a beginner step to actually have a crush so that you can approach. I think it is a good move to actually, people just shouldn't meet in the road and just say, I love you so much. No. Okay. It's good when you find a friend. Crushes, taking the path of crush, it is good. Yeah. When you actually know the outcome and you're ready to accept it, but then you're actually facing it head on.
And it's different how it comes. You see, there's a difference when you have a crush on somebody, let's say crush at first sight.
Crush at first sight.
It wasn't at first sight.
Oh.
No, it wasn't.
You had seen them?
Yeah.
You had gotten used to them?
It's as if I grew into having a crush on this person, into liking this person.
Yeah. Ouch.
And it takes forever, my friend. It takes forever to get over that.
It is.
Unlike somebody whom you meet today and you're like, yeah, I have a crush on him. There's somebody you see every day and you are
formerly
drawn to them.
Because formerly you hadn't actually crushed on them.
Not really.
But then you grow.
Yeah, you grow into liking
into having a crush.
Jamani.
Ouch. It is painful.
It is.
It is painful. When it now flies out of it. Flying out of your hand. And you're seeing it.
And you're seeing it like that. And you can't do anything about it.
Yeah, you can't do anything. And it pains. Most of us are facing it.
Yeah.
The youths today. But then, the people who are actually having crushes and facing them and going to their crushes, big up to those people. Big up to you guys.
Those who are the bravest.
Big up to you guys.
I envy you people.
Big up to you guys. And I don't know if ladies love it when they're actually approached by their crushes. I don't know.
Ooh,
can you tell me something about it?
I've never experienced it, but I'd love that.
Oh,
as much as yes, I have grown out of it. Yeah, it took a while, but I did grow out of it right now. But I feel like it's an experience worth talking about.
Okay.
Yeah, it's an experience worth talking about. I never experienced being approached by my crush or approaching my crush. Oh, I was too scared to do that. I don't know if people do that.
Let me tell you something. By the way, the crushes, they always want you to stay longer in the crush. Yeah, because they know they may actually feel a similar thing. It is always good when you have a crush with somebody.
Don't get my hopes up.
I'm sorry.
No, but what you're saying is true, yeah.
Yeah, you might find a crush whom you have a crush on, and they feel a similar thing.
They also have a crush on you?
Yeah, and they also, you see the way you are afraid? Yeah. They're also afraid to approach.
Nice.
And the feeling is good because the crushes also want to maintain that.
Yeah.
They still want to feel scared, but they want to see you still there.
From a distance, though.
From a distance.
From across the room.
But then the moment they see you flying away with another person. Yeah. Oh.
But I feel like looking at it closer, what if the perfect picture person you had in mind, that crush of yours, say you end up actually approaching each other and then you start dating and then things change?
Things change.
Yeah, for me, it's better. I don't know.
To live in the crush.
Yeah.
In the fictional world.
Maybe it's the fiction.
Yeah, it is the fiction.
It might be the fiction or not, but it might be.
Yeah, that is why I say the expectations might one day kill the needs.
True.
Because I had a crush on you. I'm living in a fantasy world. A world full of fantasy, full of imagery. And then there is something I expect that when I approach you, because for me to actually gather the confidence to approach you while having a crush, formerly I was afraid. But then I said, let it be so.
Yeah.
Whatever happens, happens.
True.
And then you find me gathering all the confidence, approaching you, and then it gets in. You get into the box.
You get into the what? Who says that anymore?
They do.
Okay, they do. You mean you do?
I do.
Okay.
I am a millionaire.
You?
Am I? So
Okay.
you see, it is the best moment actually when you actually gathered your confidence, you approach somebody, and then you actually get convinced. You are able to actually convince them into loving you.
Yeah.
It is the best actually. There is nothing better than that.
Okay.
The feeling at the moment, it is sweet. But then when you actually get into it, you're not getting used into it. The fictional world is giving you different perceptions and stuff. It pains.
Yeah, true.
It pains. When you're actually getting the contrary of what you had expected.
Yeah.
That one now, it pains. You can even come to regret and tell yourself, it is better I could have lived having them as a crush.
True.
Yeah. And just stay in the fictional world. Live in a world where you just hope that they're feeling the same thing you're feeling.
Yeah, the hope is always there.
The hope is always there.
Yeah. But, okay, to me, honestly, that is something I would not press the reset button on.
And
it was a nice feeling.
It is a nice feeling. And you know what?
It was, as much as it was heartbreaking at the end of it, but it was that period.
But at least let them know your name. Hey, don't have a crush on somebody who doesn't
even know your name.
Who doesn't even...
I mean, okay.
You think they actually recognize you, but then they don't.
But they don't, yeah.
Make
true.
sure they actually know you.
And it's worse when they do. It's worse when they know your name.
At least let them know. So that when you actually getting pained, you actually tell yourself, at least they knew my name.
Oh my God, that is so sad.
At least they knew my name. I think that one is possible for men because ladies, it is actually very hard for ladies to approach the crushes.
True.
It is very hard. But I know to men, it can actually work. Let them at least know your name. Okay. That one can be the least you can do. If not, let them actually be seeing you around. Let them be seeing you around.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that was a lot.
That was a lot. And it seems we have experiences that we
ought to talk about.
We really have to.
Well, so, I mean...
Most of us have certain experiences, similar experiences, I'd say.
Yeah.
But then, whatever you're facing, if you're willing to press the button, do. To some that you cannot, just forget about it.
Yeah, to some that you are comfortable enough to live as they are, it's okay.
Imagine they are.
Yeah.
They are.
Yeah, so...
And they're very critical. All the aspects.
True.
The aspects are very critical.
So, one last thing. Maybe the last in our list. What do you have last in your list? In your list?
Personal growth is important.
Okay.
It is.
Yeah, it is. So, do you think you've actually grown, or you've just changed the environment?
I think I've grown.
Yeah. Okay.
Even the way I speak now, even the moments we've spoken, I think I've grown. I've realized a lot. May you also realize one day.
True.
And even as you listen to this, may you realize the growth. May you realize.
For me, I know I have grown. I feel...
You feel the growth.
There's how you feel that you... From whatever things we have talked about, have grown.
I think you're privileged.
Yeah.
For you actually to feel it. Some of us take time to realize we've grown. Some of us do. But then if you can actually feel...
I do feel
from
it.
the moment you speak, you can actually feel the growth.
Yes.
Then you're good. You're privileged. You're blessed.
Right, thank you. Look at me doing a podcast right now.
Imagine.
That is
might
growth.
have been. It is growth, a very critical growth. Yes, and also to me, being a guest to this podcast.
Yeah,
it is growth.
And I, I need to say this. So I have stated earlier. Yesterday, I was doing a podcast and it was not going through. So I called Innocent. at night, and I was like, you know what? You're going to help me do this. And he's like, sure, let's do it. What are we talking about? I said, I don't know, but we'll figure it out. Not even 24 hours later. We are doing it, which is nice.
It is. And I remember telling you something about optimism.
Yeah.
And it is very critical in growth.
True. So anything about personal growth that I would change? I don't think there is. Everything has gone so well. Mm-hmm. The person I was that person for me to be the person I am today. Yeah. Because I've realized it and I've grown out of being my demeanor. I used to diminish myself so much. A lot. But right now, it's like I'm my biggest supporter. Mm-hmm. And I want to be that every single time. Yeah. And I wish for every single person, especially ladies do this a lot. They demean themselves a lot. Even, I don't know about men, but one thing I know for sure is that men feel like the problem stays theirs. Which is very toxic.
That is how they take it. It is toxic.
It is.
And they believe that time heals. A man will always believe that time heals. Even though it does.
Yeah.
Even though it does, but then it is not the cleanest move, I can say.
It is not. Because look at right now, the current generation, the youths, a lot of men commit suicide.
They do.
And we ask ourselves why. Silently. It's because men grow up being told that, you know, you are supposed to be strong. You're not supposed to show any emotion.
Yeah, the society always teaches us something.
That is bad.
Yeah, imagine. And it actually matters a lot that when we actually think that we are growing and we're keeping things to ourselves, and some of us tend to throw our past away. I don't know why. Yeah. Instead, be using your past as a stepping stone.
True.
Yeah, do not throw away your past. Now you want to despise yourself formally, things that you had done in the past. You want them to linger in you. Do not make them linger, but then use them as stepping stones.
Yeah, it's something to learn from rather than just discard. Yeah.
That is how it is.
So, what mindset, what is one shift that actually changed how you live and carry out yourself? Maybe a notion you had earlier or something like that you changed. That once you change that mindset, you got to live differently or act differently.
There's this one notion I used to live with. I used to tell myself, trust no one. And I think I still do it.
Okay.
Yeah, I used to tell myself, you trust nobody. Don't even trust your heart.
Oof. So who are you going to trust?
Make them trust you, but then don't trust them.
That is brutal.
Imagine, I used to tell myself, trust nobody.
Yeah.
Let them trust you, and then care not. Oof. I used to also tell myself, do not make care. That one is weakness. Care is weakness.
The everyday man's notion, which is very not good.
I used to tell myself that until today morning.
Really?
I've always told myself that.
Until today morning, what happened? What changed it?
We were at a certain gathering. We were with people. And I saw myself caring, and it was not weakness anymore.
Yeah.
It was not weakness anymore. It is strength.
Yeah.
But then I used to tell myself, care is weakness. Trust will kill us.
You changed that and
I think
better.
I changed that, and that one took me to somewhere. Today I trust people. Today I can actually tell myself, at least trust them so that they can actually feel at home.
True. They feel comfortable around
they
you.
feel comfortable around me, having me trusting them.
Yeah. Okay. Well, as for me, I had stated it earlier. The one where, be kind to people and you'll get loved. Do good things, help out people.
And you'll get recognized.
And you will earn love. Like, the fact that you're a good person or a kind person or somebody who does good things does not earn you love. Yeah, that is not the leeway to being loved.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
Some will use it. Some will use the kindness. Some will use the goodness that you possess to get whatever they want.
True. So once I changed that, my life pretty much changed for the better. I now know how to put myself in spaces. I know that I deserve to be here regardless of what I do. I just deserve to exist.
And then you've set your boundaries.
Yeah, I say this a lot. I say this a lot out of the blues. Not that I mean anything deep, but I always say I occupy space and I deserve the space I occupy.
Oh, you do?
I mean, just existence. I occupy this space.
And you possess it.
And I possess it and I own it. And I've earned it.
You earned it.
I'm just worth
and
living.
You use the authority.
Yes.
You feel the space.
I
feel your aura.
That's why I'm telling you.
You feel your presence.
Yeah. Yes, that's why I'm telling you. I feel like I've changed.
You feel
I
it.
feel it every day.
And it takes a step.
It does.
You felt the step and you took it.
I took it.
And I can say that you're privileged.
Yeah.
To actually take a step. Most of us
true.
linger in taking steps. And it actually drains us. It makes us late in achieving whatever we wanted to achieve.
True.
Yeah, it actually does. But then growth, embracing growth and realizing growth is a step.
Yeah.
It's a step. And when you take a step in growing, oh my God, you're good. You're blessed.
Yeah.
If you are listening to me and you realize that you've grown and you're still growing, you're blessed. Are you?
Oh, I am.
You
I
are
feel blessed. Thank you.
You feel blessed. You should be blessed.
Okay, one last thing. What are the things you're still working on?
The things I'm still working on.
Yeah, something you're still working on.
There's this one thing, very critical as it sounds, as it is named. It is called critical thinking.
Okay.
Still working on that.
Oh, nice.
And then trustworthiness.
Ah.
I really need to get people where they were.
Mm.
Yeah, back in the days when they still used to trust me blindly. But then it was genuine.
Right now it's not genuine?
Is it?
I don't know.
I'm not so sure about it.
Okay.
People trust me. I don't know. I can't say blatantly. But then they just trust me so that they can get things done.
Okay. So
but then I need
to
get, I need to get them somewhere. And also critical thinking. It is very important. In making decisions, I realize critical thinking is very important. It is. And then attitude. I can also speak about attitude. Attitude is very important. So those three, I can speak about them at a personal level. Some people may have other things they're working on that they're actually trying to embrace. Other things, spiritual life, social life, relationships and stuff. Also the mental stuff. Some people may be working on their mental health. Bravo to them also. But then be working on something. Be working on something. What can you be working on now?
I am working on consistency.
Consistency
matter whatever I do. And also another thing I'm working on is eliminating what's the name again? Procrastination. I am working.
Ignorance. Okay,
I wouldn't say ignorance.
But then it is procrastination.
Yeah, it is kind of, yes. So I'm working on those two things.
Yeah, eliminate it by all means. And you
especially procrastination. I'm the biggest
procrastinator.
I'm the biggest procrastinator you can ever find. And it's not a good thing.
But then the way you're taking, the path you're taking is a good one. I can assure you.
Yeah.
I can see you, provided you have optimism.
Yeah.
And you actually want to make something happen. You said you're focusing on self. It is a good path. You will actually see things through.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, you will.
And you too. I'm pretty sure you'll work on all those three, and you'll get better.
I'm proud of ourselves.
Me too. I'm proud of you. Are you proud of me?
I am.
Thank you.
Am I supposed to be so sure of that? I am supposed to be so sure of that, and I am.
Okay, that is a good thing. Well, wow, that was nice.
It was nice.
Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you so much for welcoming me.
Yeah.
For having me here. It is a privilege.
Nice.
It is a privilege. I will live with it.
Oh,
the
really?
Next many days.
Oh, nice. I feel good about that. I'm sure the listeners will feel good about it too.
They will.
Okay.
I believe so, and I hope so.
And I hope we do this again soon.
Can't wait.
Is that a promise?
Is it? It should be.
Is it? I like how you always ask, is it? Well, that was all that we had for today. I had so much fun doing this. I hope you will have fun listening to it as much as we had fun making it. And hoping to see you again next episode. So just remember, follow, like, share, and subscribe. YouTube, Youth in Being Podcast, Instagram, TikTok, and Spotify. Please tell a friend to tell a friend. So thank you so much for your support in everything. So this is me signing out. I have been your host, Pendo Suzine, and this has been our guest,
Innocent Master.
Thank you so much. All right. So this has been Youth in Being, where we do not have all the answers, but we are sure enough not afraid to ask questions. Until we meet again, be your authentic self and keep pushing. Bye-bye.
Bye.